Good evening, everyone. I'll continue to analyze the rest of the part of the Kalidasa's poem Meghdoot, which means the cloud messenger. The mountain slopes covered with mango groves that glisten with ripe fruit will become worthwhile to be visited by immortal couples. She will be like the breast of the earth, dark in the middle and pale throughout the rest. And stripping off her clothes, once you have removed her blue watery negligee, which fell from her hips, the river bank, and which reaches the branches and the reeds of the shore, as if held up by hands, you must depart somehow. Having tested them once, who can leave large hips? That means sandy beaches here. When we finally get to the description of the Yaksha's wife, we are presented with an image of feminine beauty that could be taken out of any number of modern Western fashion magazines. She is slender and young. Her teeth are sharp and her lower lip is a ripe bimba fruit. Her waist is slight and her glance that of frightened deer, her navel a deep concavity. Her gait is slow with the weight of her thighs. She is slightly bent over with the weight of her breast. The picture of the beauty presented here is exaggerated and unnatural, but the poet stresses that it is a picture that presents nature as perfected, not distorted. The Yaksha says, I see your arms in vines, your glance in the gaze of a frightened deer, the pallor of your cheeks in the moon, your hair in the tail feathers of peacocks, your flirtatious eyebrows in the slender waves of rivers. But listen, timid one, there is not a single place anywhere that resembles all of you. The woman is collage of the best aspects of nature, an amalgam of the most beautiful natural images Kalidasa can conjure up. Her beauty is one that comes from the world around her and yet exceeds it by displaying the loveliest parts. When we read the poem, we are removed from the actual woman by the gaze of two men, the poet and the distressed lover he creates. The woman, nameless like our male yaksha, is a reflection of a shadow obscured by idealized longing and imagination. The yaksha imagines her as so distressed by their separation that she neglects the social norms of beauty and bodily upkeep. She no longer uses conditioner for her hair. Her nails grow long, her cheeks become rough, clothes dirty, lips chapped, ornaments cast aside, mascara unpeppered. Her state of depression unleashes her natural beauty, which shows even more because she doesn't try to cover herself with an altered instrument of society. As we reread the description of Yaksha's beloved and the message he gives her, we find ourselves falling into the rhythms of separation or viraha. The pain and longing of a yaksha are so complete and he is so helpless that we cannot help but feel that we too are missing something or someone. Yaksha invites us on a tour of his mind. First, he pictures his lover in a perfect state, but soon fantasized her as broken because of her longing for him. There is nothing he wants more than to be desired back. He proclaimed to the cloud, I know her heart is chock full of love for me. This is why I imagine her thus during our first separation. I am not just boasting out the wishful thinking. What I have explained will soon be entirely evident to you. I imagine her face, eyes swollen by powerful tears, lips chapped by the heat of many sighs, laid down in her hands, partially hidden by her hanging hair, showing the depression of the moon, whose glow is obscured by your approach. This is the state of Yaksha finds himself in, and he assumes that his lover must feel the same. She must miss him as much as he misses her, even though she is in the magnificent city of Alaka and he is in a remote mountain monastery. She certainly will be unable to enjoy the pleasures of her situation. As the Yaksha says, the color will have faded with my separation. Even in his pain, the Yaksha remains light-hearted, not upbeat, but perhaps jovial. After stressing just how pained his lover will be and how she will neglect basic elements of fashion and hygiene, he turns around and says, as she is busy during the day, separation shouldn't pain her. I fear that at night time, without diversion, her suffering will be much heavier. Sitting at her window in the night, near her bed, on the ground, you should see if you can cheer up that wonderful sleepless woman with my messages. Though he paints a rosy picture to the cloud regarding his lover and himself, the Yaksha is well aware that women can be unfaithful and seek out other lovers on their own. Of course, his lover would never do such thing, but other women are given mischievous, erotic agency, he tells the cloud. At night, women go to their lovers' homes by the royal road, the path shrouded in the dense darkness that can only be pierced by a needle. Show them the ground with lightning that glistens like a streak of gold, but do not make the thunderous downpour, for the women are timid. At sunrise, the night journeys of lovers are quite apparent because of their trembling gaits. Anjara flowers have fallen from their hair, cut and arrayed golden lotuses from their ears. The threads of their pearl necklace have broken. The Yaksha encourages romance in modes that aren't socially accepted, but imagines his lover as faithful to her one husband and precisely counting the days. His fears of unfaithfulness are only expressed on the level of subtext. In front of the cloud, he remains proud, though depressed. Though we are presented with yakshas, gods, and other mythical characters, the Meghdoot is not a poem of fantasy or a magical realism. At the end, we are left with a profound tragic sense of longing, as the cloud does not respond to the yaksha's entreaties. The lover acknowledges that the cloud is silent, but does not despair. He cries out, listen, cloud, I hope you do this out of friendship for me. I see no reason to assume the silence of your majesty is to deny me. Though you are without words, you grant water to the begging Kataka birds. A good person replies by simply performing favors for friends. We outside of the grip of love know better. Still reading the poem in summer, the season the Yaksha describes, during which love grows and withers so quickly, leaves us hoping, or perhaps almost confident, that Yaksha's message will reach to his lover one day, one way or another. Thanks for watching.